Here's the important takeaway. Multiply confirmed over and over again since this was written in 2006. Most astronomers doubt that any large comets or asteroids have crashed into the Earth in the last 10,000 years. But the self-described band of misfits that make up the 2-year-old Holocene Impact Working Group say that astronomers simply have not known how or where to look for evidence of such impacts along the world's shorelines and in the deep ocean. Scientists in the working group say the evidence for such impacts during the last 10,000 years, known as the Holocene epoch, is strong enough to overturn current estimates of how often the Earth suffers a violent impact. Instead of once in 500,000 years to 1 million years, as astronomers now calculate catastrophic impacts could happen every few thousand years. This insight that was already, this paradigm shift that was already well underway in 2006 has only continued. Everything we've learned, everything we've witnessed, everything we've seen since then has only supported the idea that impact events are far more frequent than anybody was estimating a generation ago. But it hasn't factored its way into mainstream thinking. It hasn't factored its way into the thinking of the individuals and the people that are presumably going to be are going to be the leaders. Does Trump know this? I don't know. But you know what? I bet Trump's administration would be far more accessible, far more open to looking at this kind of stuff and recognizing that this actually may be worthy of policy implementation of some kind, worthy of our attention perhaps as a nation, if not as a species. Now, I think it's also safe to say, though, that the other side of the spectrum, the ones that just left power, would not be open to this, and we're not open to this because a lot of the inertia, the blockades of preventing this kind of information from coming into the mainstream and becoming part of the mainstream topic of discussion is precisely the same people that want to control the narrative about global change. They want to exclude this stuff. So everything that went out with the Biden administration, which is the pro-climate, which is all about the climate crisis narrative, they don't want this discussion. Why? Because it's going to distract from what they're trying to create this climate crisis that we're causing because we're using fossil fuels. It's increasing the carbon dioxide concentrations in the atmosphere by a small but measurable amount, and that is what's provoking the so-called climate crisis. There's billions, hundreds of billions of dollars now wrapped up in this agenda, and you don't want anybody like a Graham Hancock coming along and saying, hey, there were ancient catastrophes that perhaps wiped out former civilizations. There might have been civilizations on this planet long ago that have been almost completely lost to memory, but not entirely, because they exist in our myths. They exist in our legends. We can see them in their cyclopean stonework, the handiwork that's been left behind. Look, the people that were occupying these sites, wherever, South America, whether in Egypt, whether it doesn't matter, whether in North America, the question is, over and over again, well, who built these? And the indigenous peoples living there basically don't know. The universal answer, they don't know. It was whoever was there before them. This is where the 18-mile diameter Burckle craters, I've marked it right here. The wave would have come this way and it would have washed over and wrapped around this side of Madagascar, exactly deposited the chevrons just as we see. You can see the wave move this way, and then it wrapped around and washed over, because right here where the arrow is, that is the region of the chevrons, right there. The Australian overwash deposits, you come straight over here, that's where they are right there. Now, have these been precisely dated to correlate them temporally in time? No, they haven't. Does that need to be done? I would say, yeah, it sure does. This would be good information to have. Are the overwash deposits here from the same event as here, or is it two different events?